Good evening, Year 9. This is Miss Walsh, and I would like to begin by welcoming you and your parents to our virtual options evening. I'd like to begin by saying I'm really sorry we're unable to welcome you and the family to Dormers as normal for this annual event. And although it's not possible to fully replicate the rounded experience that this occasion provides, I'm hoping that this virtual options evening will give you and your parents the chance to learn more about what studying certain subjects at Dormers will be like. This evening, we will ensure you and your parents have a full understanding of the process behind how you select particular subjects of interest, what subjects the school has on offer this academic year, as well as any entry requirements for particular courses. When a student reaches Year 9 and begin to take options, this is a key milestone in each child's education. It's at this point that your son or daughter will take over some control of what they study. They will start to plan seriously for the future. What will careers look like? What will I study in the sixth form? What will I study at university? So it is important that you take the opportunity to watch a number of curriculum videos. In these videos, the curriculum leaders will provide you with an insight into the content and assessment of your course of interest, as well as guidance about what skills you will develop studying this course. Next, I will pass you to Mr. Finlan, who will describe the curriculum structure.
Now let's look at the curriculum that you will study as you move from Year 9 into Year 10. Everyone in Year 10 and 11 studies the three core subjects, English, Maths and Science. In English, you will have 9 lessons per fortnight to study English language and English literature GCSEs. In Maths, you will have 7 hours of lessons per fortnight. And in Science, where you will either do the combined Science GCSE or separate Sciences GCSEs, you will have 10 hours of lessons per fortnight. Everyone in Year 10 and Year 11 will also have lessons in RE for 1 lesson per fortnight, in PE for 3 lessons, and in CPSHE for 2 lessons per fortnight. You then have 3 option choices. You have option A, B and C, which will be 6 hours per fortnight each in your timetable. So it's particularly important to make sure that they are subjects that you enjoy. And thinking about the reasons to choose subjects, enjoyment and being good at the subject are good reasons to choose that subject for 2 years study as you move into Year 10. Knowing how the subjects will help you in the future and how it will help you when you get older are also good things to consider when you're making that choice. So think about what you might want to go on to do in the sixth form and beyond, and use that to help you to guide you when you're making your choices. But please don't choose a subject because your friend is doing it. There's no guarantee that you'll be in the same class as your friend, but regardless, you shouldn't be choosing a subject just because your friend is doing it. Think about the teacher. The teacher you have now is not necessarily the one that you're going to have in the future. So please don't choose because you like the teacher that you have currently. There's no guarantee that you'll be working with them in the next 2 years. If it's a new subject, it's important that you read through the information on it carefully. We want you to think about choosing new subjects, but not just because they're new, but because you have an active interest in doing the subject. So please don't pick the subject because you haven't done it before and you think it will make a nice change. Please actively choose it because you want to do it. And you'll get a lot of advice over the next few weeks, and it's important that you listen to that advice. But please don't choose a subject just because other people want you to do it. If that's the only reason you're doing it, you're not likely to find that it will go well over the next 2 years. And finally, we will be offering appointments to you all to meet with a senior member of staff, and we will let you know more information about those in due course.
The Ebacc qualification is achieved if a student studies English, Maths, Science, Geography or History, and French or Spanish. Most students at Dormers Wales High School will be expected to continue with a language and a humanities subject in Year 10. All students will study English language and English literature, which will give them 2 GCSEs. All students will also study maths, which will give them a GCSE, and combined science, which will give them 2 GCSEs. Students in the top 3 science sets will also study an extra science GCSE, which will award them triple science, and so they do not need to select triple science on their option forms. In addition, all students will study religious education, physical education, and CPSHE. The next section on your form will be laid out in 2 different tables. This will mean that the majority of you continue with your language and also continue with either history or geography. Some students' forms will only have the opportunity to select one subject here. The last section on your option form will show you new GCSE subjects that you can choose and the options that you currently study. Options that you currently study include art and design, computer science, DT, drama, food and nutrition, French, geography, history, photography, PE, RE and Spanish. New options that you can study that you haven't previously studied and you can pick up if you haven't studied them before are business studies, citizenship, digital information technology, which is a BTEC, health and social care, which is a BTEC, sociology and sport, which is a BTEC. When looking at the options that you've already studied, you can only choose subjects from that box if you've studied them in Year 9. The majority of students will select one option throughout this section of the form. Some students will be asked to select 2 options in this section of the form. It is important that you select 2 reserved subjects. We will try our best to give you as many of your first choices as possible. If we are unable to do so, we will then look at your reserved subjects. You must submit your final choices at your IAG interview in March. Here is a summary of the options process. In March, you will have a meeting with the member of the leadership team or the year team. You must submit your final choices at your IAG interview in March. The subjects are then put into blocks, and then a further meeting is arranged with any students who did not have their first choice. You will then be informed of your final choices in the summer term. Thank you for watching the options presentation, and I hope it's helped you understand the options process. Please be in touch with the school if you have any further questions.